The American people deserve better than the same old charade we get every 4 or every 3 years when it comes to picking those who are meant to represent us at the highest levels of government. I have made a video on this topic numerous times, but this issue, much like a bad fever or a roach, does not ever die. It just keeps popping up and coming towards us in different forms, and thus I must deal with it once again. When the presidential debate between Joe Biden and Donald Trump was mentioned recently, because it's been mentioned for a very long time, when it was settled recently, the political world kind of erupted into this fervor, into this excitement, and immediately the conversation was focused on a few things. Number one, who's going to win the debate? Number two, who has the better strategy? Number three, is Biden's faculties right? Is he just so old that his faculties just can't do it? Number four, will Trump's criminal procedures interfere with the debates? Number five, why isn't the Committee for Presidential Debates hosting this? Why is CNN or ABC hosting these ones? And the next one, oh, why can't a podcast host this? Wouldn't a podcast-based presidential debate be a better way to engage in American republicanism? That is what the conversation became. And historically, as presidential debates go on and after presidential debates, the conversation never moves beyond the people in the debate, nor does it move towards the issues actually being talked about during the debate. Herein lies our current political crisis. It is both a crisis of our politics in America, and it is a crisis of the mind. Presidential debates, my friends, much like any televised or media-driven quote-unquote debate, are not debates. But you already knew that. What you may not have known is that presidential debates play a major role in downgrading the quality of your mind, your ability to perceive what it means to have a sound government, what it means to have sound political order, and what it means to connect your ideas about ethics and politics with reality. Because you don't normally hear that critique. You see, those who think in mediocre ways and who tell you things want to keep you on a level where they can at least manipulate you or control you for their own benefit. So people that may hate presidential debates, but they have a stake in actually those debates happening because it may be good content for them. It may drive forth the goals of their own particular party or whatever. Those people have an interest in not breaking the hermetic seal that is around our conversation. So they'll criticize presidential debates insofar as their criticism does not actually hurt the idea of there being a presidential debate, but they'll never be radically morally convicted in their thinking, and they'll never call out the truth. And the truth is, when Americans are force-fed these media-driven, sensational, watered-down, milquetoast, unintellectual, lack of substance so-called debates, they are hit over the head with the current problem we are facing in our politics, and that is a problem of distraction. The fact that so many Americans, according to survey data, do not know about the Constitution or not know basics about our founding history is a part and parcel result to the lack of political education in this country, and also the lack of moral education, because politics is fundamentally a system of applied morality. Our founders understood this, which is why in the preamble to the Constitution it says we hold these truths to be self-evident. These are not simply rhetorical things that make us feel good. These are the guiding moral bases of our nation by which the decisions of politics are meant to be made. And yet presidential debates take us away from those guiding lights, and they bring us towards a cage-fighting match that has nothing to do with the health of our country. Only plausibly so. Not only do presidential debates cause drama, but as I mentioned, presidential debates have a tendency to take our minds off of what we should actually be considering. Because the issues in the debate become inseparable with the people who are actually part of the debate. See, here's the problem with this in American politics. When you have this problem of personalities, where you tie the entire value of particular ideologies with particular persons, whether it be Bernie Sanders for socialism, whether it be Donald Trump for being more right-leaning, you will never be able to see ideas for what they are. You will become tied up in personalities and status and people, and you will end up looking more at the person than you do the actual idea. The same is true in presidential debates. Presidential debates are viewed in a few ways. They're viewed on an electoral way, way, how will this debate impact the poll numbers of the respective candidate? They're viewed in a sort of social way. What will the response of the American people be to these debates? And they're also viewed, I would fundamentally say, in a way that affords them, that can afford them no more charity. They're viewed in a way as if they make or break the existence of a particular candidate, or they make or break the strength of a certain position. A debate is only as good as its debaters. And since we have lost a culture of the mind in this country, many so-called politicians that debate don't actually debate. They use rhetoric and they deploy rhetoric for manipulative ends. But people, because the word debate is being uttered, are then convinced to believe that is a debate. The presidential debate system tyrannizes the minds of Americans by confusing them about the nature of what a debate is and distracting them from the core issues, leaving them to tie issues to personalities as opposed to tying issues and values to substance. I weep for my country because as an American conservative who believes in the virtues of the Constitution, as an American conservative who understands that there is a connection between social well-being, which is a connection towards the mind, and political well-being, as someone who understands the importance of that strong American tradition of transparency and truth that lies at the very bottom of our considerations about power and the nature of authority, I weep when our thinking becomes muted by glorified drama shows masquerading as activities that are actually valuable. Debate is actually valuable, but it's only valuable when it happens in the context of two people who understand the issues very well, two people who are intellectually honest, and two people who don't have anything to prove. They simply wish to pursue the truth by posing their positions. But no political debate, by definition, can do that because politics is the science of power, and the norms of power over debate will then compel the debaters to be worried about how a debate furthers their particular political party, how a debate furthers their particular political ambitions, and not how the debate furthers the truth. America should not have presidential debates. They are an absolute sham, and we must wake up to this reality before our culture of mass distraction continues to degrade the American mind. Presidential debates remain an unfitting mechanism for a people, a free and thinking people, to understand their candidates, whether they are hosted by a podcast host like myself, or whether they are hosted by an old world media anchor, because the underlying ethos remains the same. So long as the norms of power, which are wholly concerned with maintaining power and wholly concerned with winning elections, is the standard that both candidates operate by during the debate, and not the standard of truth, pursuing higher virtues and values that go beyond their short-term temporal political careers, then the debate continues to suffer from the same problem that it did if it was directed by the media, because the debate is no longer about giving the American people information and enlightenment. It is about keeping them trapped in the political cycle where they cannot learn, they cannot grow, and fundamentally they cannot gain greater understanding of the issues, which is why we have to reject presidential debates as a mode of how our candidates interact with us here in America. What should have been done is that President Trump or Biden or whoever, I mean, I'm biased, I myself am conservative, so you probably know where my loyalties lie, although I'm not a partisan, but the candidates should instead demand a town hall event, a mass live-streamed town hall event, perhaps done on some decentralized platform like X, where there is no debate moderator and where it is not a debate. It is them talking to the voters, and the voters themselves would be screened to make sure they're not some political operative. Because that way, if you have a variety of voters from different sides of the aisle, and also a variety of people of different political factions present in the debate, present in the town hall, you actually get more out of it than you would if it's just two people talking. Some may say, well, Christian, there's already been town hall style debates. Town hall style presidential debates suffer from the same flaws as I mentioned. The candidates don't actually care about the truth in that case, or they're not at least as concerned with it. They're concerned about their short-term political lives. We have to change the system and the way our elections happen if we are to maintain a free republic. My friends, reject presidential debates, reject the old world media paradigm of how we're supposed to interact with politics, and reject the culture of mass distraction and political mediocrity masquerading as civics. Because there is nothing civil about what is happening to the American people. The degradation of our minds and the loss of our traditions and knowledge at the behest of those who claim to know what's best for our political culture. Reject it, embrace philosophy, embrace constitutionalism, and demand more from those who you choose to represent you. My friends, study history, study philosophy, be morally convicted. If you enjoy this message and if you enjoy my commentary, like, share, comment, subscribe, send this to your friends, do whatever you can to get our messages out there. I love you guys so much, and please stay pensive. Bye, guys.